been like a whole saga with my car. It had trouble turning over starting like October, and then one day it just wouldn't start up at all. And every time I took it somewhere, they were like, nothing's wrong, or they were like, I don't think anything's wrong, but it might be this thing. And then they would all say different things. So eventually I was like, I'm just getting the battery replaced because whatever. And this code that came up this time was something about the catalytic converter. And
Have you considered getting a new car?
I mean, actually, yeah, I might. My brother works for a car dealership, so he gets like a discount thing where like once a year he can buy a car like at cost.
Why doesn't he start up his own place so he can call it Pars Cars?
Because it would take too many years. That's why they do one a year. Oh,
No, I mean Pars.
yeah. I don't know. Probably because the number of R's is wrong.
So this is the Experience Podcast with me and someone else.
And Pars cars.
Pars Cars. Nathaniel's back. Has been a while. I think I tried to get you on a couple times, but just things don't work out.
Yeah, it's
The
been
past few
it's
months.
been wild over here, my guy.
A lot of stuff going on today. We're recording this Sunday night before, or for I guess concurrently with Sunday Night Football. We don't know all the results, but we know most of them. And this will come out on Tuesday. So
Yeah. So let's start with the NFC because that's
all
locked
locked
at
in.
this point.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
locked in. So the AFC is not locked in. Again, we're recording this during Sunday Night Football simultaneously, but we do know what happened in the NFC. I'll run through the seeding, and then when I'm done, you'll decide which one you want to talk about first. The only bye, since again the league moved to different rules last year, Packers have the bye. Bucks ended up getting the second seed, and they'll play the Eagles. I don't know when these games are. They haven't announced that, right?
Yeah, I'm going to
Or
the
what?
Hawks Knicks game, so I really hope the Bills game isn't at the same
They
time.
haven't announced like when these games are, like what channel. I've seen like anyway. The Cowboys got the 3 seed, and they'll play the 49ers. And then the Rams at the 4 seed will play Cardinals, the 5th seeded Cardinals. So that's the wild card weekend. Um, Rams secured the division. 49ers secured a final spot. Saints very close. They won their game, but since the 49ers won, the Saints are out, which
Yeah,
might be a good thing. But
that's wild.
that team
Uh,
is tough to
the
watch
Rams
sometimes.
were up like quite a bit at one point. Yeah.
I think this is like they always show this graphic because they love showing it. Like Sean McVay's never lost when he has a lead going into halftime. I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
this is it. I think this is his first one. Maybe it's just regular season or something, but um, I
Well,
think
it
that was
was
his first
regular
one.
season. That's a good point. Oh my gosh.
So
I'm sure they would not shut the fuck up about that on the broadcast.
they didn't say anything about it. I watched most of the broadcast because that's just
Oh
funny. I
my
mean, I
God,
had
that's
that and
so
like the Bills
lame.
Jets.
You
I
have to bring it up when I can't believe they didn't do that.
I had that game and I had the Bills Jets and I was like, I don't want to. That's. I mean, that just sounds. Apparently, it was. You were watching it.
Yeah, I left because I was like, the Bills were playing like garbage, and I was
I
like,
had
I
already
can
watched
never.
Steelers Ravens earlier, which was also a bad game. But I love when
I
the
also,
when the when the broadcast will say like, this is such a defensive battle. I'm like, no, I think just the offenses are both bad. Like, there's a difference there, right, between good defense and just two bad offenses. And that anyway, Ravens Steelers is not important right now. So which game are you? Yeah, which game you want to talk about first? So I already
well,
ran
I mean,
through
let's just
them.
go in order.
Got all.
Um,
Okay, Packers playing no one. What do you like about that? Oh,
I think they're gonna move on. Aaron
I think
Rodgers is just
that's
too good when he's not playing anybody. Uh, Tampa, Philly. Well, first off, congratulations to the Eagles for making the playoffs. First year head coach Nick
what
Sirianni.
what a crazy
Uh,
like 13-month sequence for them.
yeah,
But
I'm shocked. I think they realized their quarterback was Jalen Hurts, who's not a like prototypical NFL quarterback, and then they started building around him. Anyway, Tampa's going to win, and I don't really think there's much to say about this game.
I think it'll be closer than it should be, just because of Buccaneers, problems going on. I mean,
There's
let's be
no
too deep
fucking
into that.
way that Tom Brady loses this game.
I'm not saying they lose. I'm just saying like Tampa Bay has a few problems going on right now with their receiver room and other injuries. But
I don't think there's a problem with their receiver room. I think the problem left in the receiver room.
well, okay. But I mean, Evans is still kind of hurt. Godwin's out. They don't really have a lot. But okay, sure.
I mean, but that's the thing. It's Brady. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. Like he'll make Tyler Johnson look good, but
Yeah, and Gronk's still there, and I don't know. Like,
they're probably gonna have
Great
a big
and
game
all
too.
those guys are just good enough. And playoff Lenny is back. So
I
how
think
are you
is
supposed
he,
to
is he
stop
going to
him?
be back for next week?
Oh,
He's
that's a
hurt.
good point. I forgot he was hurt.
Yeah, if they
Or I
have no
just kind of
playoff Lenny,
assumed.
I think he showed up in practice this week, but he didn't play this week. Okay, anyway, so Bucks probably wrap that up. Cowboys, 49ers.
Yeah, so this one, it starts to get interesting, yeah? Um, Actually, just to skip ahead for both these next two games, also like the Rams Cardinals, I kind of feel like they're coin flips. I don't. I think Dallas for this first one should win, but the Niners can kind of beat anybody. And I'm not gonna lie, I was not like a 49ers truther this whole season. In fact, I was kind of the opposite. I was like, at the beginning of the season, they were the narrative was like they make it to the Super Bowl, lose to Mahomes, have like a injury riddled year after that, and then this year they were supposed to like come back and they were like back in like Super Bowl contention. And I never bought into that. I thought they were not good enough for all that to be true. And I still think Super Bowl contention is like pushing it for sure. But winning a playoff game against Dallas, who has been a little streaky for being 12-5, I could see it. That's all I'm saying.
I think Dallas probably should win that. They're kind of a
But I'm not confident in
Jekyll
it
and
at
Hyde.
all.
Yeah, they're pretty Jekyll and Hyde this year, and I don't know if I trust them. I don't know what the issue is. I mean, they haven't had that many injuries, so I don't know why they struggle to be consistent. And yet, yeah, like you said, they still won 12 games this year, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, I
Okay.
mean
Uh,
that ain't what it used to be. To be fair, because okay, low key when I'm comparing it to previous years, I just kind of knock it down one instead of like with the extra game in my
you're a
brain
round
to
down person. You're glass
rationalize
half
this.
empty. Glass half
Yeah,
empty
I
kind
just
of
have
person.
to imagine they won like that's how it like makes sense.
That's still a pretty good season, again, considering they were
Yeah.
pretty inconsistent. In the three seed.
Who I'm trying to see who did they lose to that was not a divisional opponent that was like bad. Um,
Give me a minute here.
oh, the Broncos game was where it started to look like the Cowboys had some plot armor. You know what I mean? And then they lost to then they beat the Falcons
They
badly.
lost to the Chiefs. They lost to the
And the Raiders
Raiders.
back to back weeks. But those are good teams. Okay,
That
never
was really
mind.
it.
I I take this back. The Cowboys have really only lost to kind of good teams. And I'll call the Broncos a good enough team. Like, I don't know. That's not the craziest thing. They did get like destroyed by them. It was like 30-0 at one point in that game, I think. But anyway, uh, I would say like Dallas wins this 65%. Maybe only 60 actually. Somewhere in there.
Wonder if the betting lines are already up and we can pull that up. I'll pull that up while you talk about Cardinals going back to Los
Yeah.
Angeles.
Well, so I'm trying to remember like what happened between them this year. Uh,
Okay, so
Yeah.
I can only pull up one thing at a time. It's,
No, I'm pulling it up too, but then it's weird because we're both like, what do we do?
my internet is
Um,
not fast enough for multiple tabs.
okay, week 4, it looks like the Cardinals beat the Rams, and then week 15, 14, I don't know. The Rams beat the Cardinals. So they split. The Rams have uh, won the most recent meeting. The Cardinals did beat the Cowboys the week before this past week, but they've been on a bit of a slide kind of before that, where they lost to the Rams and Lions and Colts and Seahawks 4 of the past 5 weeks. That's just and then the Panthers 2 weeks before that whole stretch. I don't know. Like those are just really soft teams in there that they should not be losing to. So actually, yeah, I take back what I said before about the coin flip. I think the Rams win. I'm actually like confident in that.
Picking all favorites
Um, well,
in the NFC.
I'm fuck it then. I'll pick San Francisco. I'll say they beat Dallas. I don't believe in Mike McCarthy. How about that? In the same way that I don't believe in the Cardinals either. Like the undefeated thing at the beginning of the season seemed too similar, uh, reminiscent, if you will, of like the Steelers last year.
They were better than the Steelers were last year, but I see what you're
I
saying.
mean, yeah, kind of, but you start undefeated and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, is this just the best team in the world?" And then, you lose a game that's not that great and then the wheels kind of fall off and then you lose to the fucking Lions and end up not winning the division. Um, yeah, I don't know. Doesn't seem good to me.
Okay, so that's
So,
the
so what would that make
NFC.
the next round? Green Bay, San Francisco. I think Green Bay should win that
So
easily.
who did you say? So Niners win, and you say Arizona. You take the Rams.
Yeah, I'm taking the
Take
Rams.
the Rams and the Cowboys. Is that? No, wait, no. You took the Rams. Took the Bucks,
Uh-huh.
Rams, in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it'd be Packers. Yeah, Packers, 49ers.
I
Bucks would
think I think
play.
Green Bay wins for sure.
Bucks would play Arizona.
No, no, LA.
No, who
I
won?
picked the Rams. I picked the Rams. I picked the Rams. Cardinals are frauds. That was the whole point of that little diatribe. I mean, I think Los Angeles is pretty inconsistent.
All right, well, the Rams would go to Tampa Bay, then, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
okay, that's another coin flip.
Did I mix that up?
I don't know. Because wait, didn't they play like week 3 and the Rams won? Is that right? Rams Bucks.
Three.
Yeah,
Yeah,
week
yeah,
3,
Rams won that
Rams
too.
won 34-24. But it's been a long season. So I don't know. I honestly feel like if you play those teams 100 times, it's astoundingly close to 50-50. But whoever wins, I'm taking them to beat Green Bay in the NFC. I believe the curse of Aaron Rodgers. I mean, it's not actually a curse, but that man just be out here losing NFC championship games like no one else.
So Bucks Rams, one winner goes to the Super Bowl,
Yeah,
and you have no faith in 49ers being the Packers.
no.
No, they did it 2 years ago.
Talking about this year.
It's
I think Green Bay is gonna come out kind of like amped to be the 1 seed and feel like they got their mojo, and Aaron Rodgers is gonna be fucking weird Aaron Rodgers, and then
Bakhtiari
all the
back.
all the magic's gonna wear off once they get to the NFC Championship game, and they're gonna get dunked on by a good team that because they didn't
You
have to
trust
play.
the Rams to win against the Buccaneers and the Packers? I mean,
I
Goff
mean,
has looked really bad the past couple of weeks.
what? Stafford?
No, that's the joke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I mean, okay, to your point. So here's the problem with the Rams. Can Matthew Stafford put together like 4 consecutive weeks of like Super Bowl caliber quarterback play? I don't know about that. I mean, I guess he like
I
could.
think, yeah, he could.
Historically though, not good against good teams.
Sure, but I mean, anyone can do that. Like, right? Like, Flacco and Nick Foles have done it before, so like,
Yeah, I don't know
certainly
if the.
possible.
I mean, I think the Rams offense is always kind of going to do their thing. I think are there. Okay, I don't want to say great. Really good is like the line for Matthew Stafford, and sometimes he plays a little above it, and sometimes he plays a little below it. And so, yeah, I think if both the defense is playing really well and Matthew Stafford is playing a little above really good, because I feel like McVay's game plan is actually pretty consistent in a good way. I don't think that's a variable that we like throw in the mix of this, right? I think McVay is going to call
I
an
like McVay.
offense that has the capability of winning the game. Did you say you don't know about that?
I said I like McVay. Yeah, okay. From McVay. Matthew Stafford leads the league in interceptions.
Yeah,
Pretty well.
but I feel like he's all over the place. Like it's not
Yes.
like he's consistently throwing them. I think he has like some really like bad fuck up games, and then most of the time he throws like one. So it's just like who's it going to be, you know? So
Yeah.
if I have to pick between Tampa Bay and LA, fuck it, I'm picking the Rams. I got the Rams coming out of the NFC. There you go.
Okay. Let's go to the AFC where we don't know who's going to
Hmm.
wrap up the final wild card spot. So,
Hmm.
as a recap for listeners that already know, Steelers almost tied the Ravens. That would have been great if they had two ties because that's the perfect team to have two ties in a season. But they beat the Ravens, and so they're basically on the bubble, if you will. If the Chargers and the Raiders tie tonight, which I think a lot of people are rooting for, which would be fantastic,
Ultimate
then they
chaos.
both get in. Then they both get in. If help me with these situations. So if the Raiders win,
Oh wait, I got it pulled up. You want me to just do it?
I think I'm almost done. If the Chargers win, they're in. If the Raiders, go ahead.
Okay, okay, I got you. So Raiders Chargers is a win and in. Assuming it's purely win loss. If the Chargers make the playoffs in any circumstance, they will be the sixth seed. So if they win, they're the sixth seed. If the Raiders win, they will be the fifth seed,
Yeah, they bumped
and
the
they're in.
Patriots down.
Yep. And then if it's a tie, the Steelers get booted. LA is the sixth seed, as it has to be, but the Raiders go down to the seventh seed.
Aren't the Raiders in no matter what? The Raiders could lose and still get in. Pretty sure.
Incorrect. If the Raiders lose, this New England would be the fifth seed, Los Angeles would be the sixth seed, and Pittsburgh would be the seventh.
Oh, that's right, because Pittsburgh tied.
Mm-hmm. So
Right.
that's so here's why I was going over this with my brother today, and he knows all this shit because he remembers everything. The Steelers played both the Chargers and the Raiders this year because the AFC North played the AFC West, and the Steelers lost both those matchups. So that's why this is playing out the way it is because the Raiders and the Chargers had the head-to-head tiebreaker over Pittsburgh. So if they tied, all three of those teams would be 9-7-1, and then the two AFC West teams would have the tiebreaker from head to head.
If like a bunch of high profile players get injured in this game, in this Sunday night football game, that I mean, come on, could have nailed it out. Anyway, again, the audience knows the result, but we don't while recording. We do know that the Titans got the bye. Pretty incredible given that the roster they had like halfway through the season. Um,
Yeah,
Chiefs,
pretty nice
Chiefs are
they
in
were able to
second.
hold on without Derrick Henry. I mean, their defense is solid enough.
Oh, not Derek, but like AJ Brown got out, and their offensive line is like, you know, worse than the starting offensive line of a lot of college football teams. The Chiefs are the
Not true.
second seed. I know.
Yeah,
Titans offensive line. Chiefs are the second seed. Bills, after squeezing it out against the Jets,
yeah.
wanted to clinch the division. They're the third seed. The Bengals didn't really care about seeding, so they took the fourth seed today. They lost against the Browns. And the Patriots, as we already talked about, their seeding depends
Well,
on the winner of
well,
the Chargers Raiders game.
yeah. I'm actually confused about that. To go back to something you said, why did the Bengals sit people and shit? They could have had the third seed.
I guess
It
they decided. I think Burrow sat injury, because of an
like
injury.
real injury or like
Yeah,
precautionary?
he got hurt last week.
Oh, on that last
Okay, I
play.
mean, it
Yeah,
depends
yeah,
on.
I remember. Yeah,
I mean, if he had to play, if today was a playoff game, I'm sure he would have played. But like, yeah, Burrow getting healthy was more important than the third or the fourth seed, which probably didn't matter because also they needed a lot of other things to go their way, right? Like I
yeah.
think if they had won, they
No,
still
if they
if the
won, they
Bills
were
won,
third.
even if the Bills won,
Correct.
yeah,
I
I guess they
remember.
didn't care about third or fourth seed, which they had no chance at the second seed. I think the point after the Chiefs won.
Yeah, yeah.
So between third and fourth seed, they didn't, which is probably correct.
I mean, it's all you don't you couldn't figure out who you're gonna play anyway that early. So
That's
fair
yeah,
enough.
and the Browns played their better quarterback too. Anyway, so um, it looks like the Patriots are waiting on Chargers and the Raiders game for their seeding, but we can pretty safely say that the Chiefs will win whoever they play against.
Correct. So I mean, I'll just go ahead and like jump the ship a little bit. I think it doesn't really matter who Kansas City or Buffalo plays. I'm picking both of them, which is unfortunate because then that means they meet in the game before the AFC Championship game, which fucking
Which means
sucks.
the Titans have a pretty good shot at coming out of the AFC.
I don't even know about that. Like they have a good shot as in if you view every game as a coin flip, they have to buy, which means they have to win one
They have
fewer
to
coin
buy,
flip.
and if they don't have to play both Kansas City and Buffalo, or if they play neither.
No, they'll have to play one of them in
Well,
the AFC.
that's if both the Chiefs and the Bills win first weekend. Like if the Chargers play the Chiefs, couldn't the Chargers beat the Chiefs?
The
If the Chargers win, don't they play the Chiefs?
No,
No, they don't. They play
there's
the
no way for Tennessee to play Kansas City or Buffalo in the second round because of the seeding.
yes, you're right.
Yeah.
So they have to play
So,
one.
so I mean, to your point, like, yeah, that helps them a lot.
But
This
yeah,
is why
and the Chiefs
seeding
basically
matters. Like the bye is crazy in and of itself, but even if there was an eighth team, that would probably be not as good, and Tennessee was supposed to win. That means they like sidestep Kansas City and Buffalo 2 and 3 until the AFC Championship game. So I'll remember this when we talk about the NBA playoffs and how it's a fucking joke because with the play-in, 10 of 15 teams like make the playoffs in quotes, but seeding matters because it lets you dodge teams. So
yeah. So anyway, so assuming that tonight's game again doesn't end in a tie, the Bills will play. They'll play the winner. Those two, right? No, they'll either play the Patriots or Chargers,
yeah,
and the Chiefs will have a bye, and the Bengals will play the Patriots or the Raiders.
correct.
You didn't get that. Chiefs have a bye. Joke put that one in there because they play the
Oh,
Steelers
I did
during
not. I was trying
during
to keep everything sorted, and also I wanted to see who the Bengals just played.
the,
Um,
the Chiefs play the Steelers, which is like a bye. It was one. Is that's the joke.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, or they could play the Raiders, and they have also destroyed them twice.
that would also be like a bye.
Yeah. So
No, I thought the Raiders would jump.
if there's a tie, the Raiders
Oh,
would be
that's
the
right. Yeah, yeah.
seventh
If they
seed.
both
Yeah,
tie, yes, if they tie, which they should. I'm watching the game now. I got the game on now,
they
and
should. It's tied
I
now,
haven't
so they should tie.
I haven't seen a kneel down yet. I haven't seen cars coming out, but he could still kneel the ball. Okay.
Well, yeah. Okay. Just a
It's
side note, econ perspective, they get prisoners dilemma if they try to
this
collaborate. So it would never
this
happen.
is this is the prisoner's dilemma, but like
Yeah.
this is like prisoner's dilemma in real life in
But
sports. But
also it's secretly not the prisoner's dilemma because if you're the Raiders, you want to tie the game and then play the Chiefs in the first round, might as well not fucking go. So yeah.
I guess so.
You got to pick up some momentum before you meet Kansas City. Like, if you win and you're the fifth seed, then the only way you play Kansas City. Oh no, you could play them in the second round.
Yeah, you play in the second round, or you're relying
And
on.
unless the Bills, like, okay, if we assume the Bills win, then the only way the Raiders could play the Chiefs would AFC Championship game. And then there's like so much sauce on the plate. You know, who knows what's going to happen. All right.
Okay,
So
anything
this was
else?
long-winded as fuck. The second, so okay, Chiefs, Bills, Titans are advancing. That's period. The
Uh,
Bengals, whoever they play game, I think is a lot more interesting because Burrow in his last two starts has been just absolutely nasty. He put up what, like, did he put up 1,000 yards in 2 games?
uh, I think they're close.
Yeah, 525 and then 446. So not quite,
They're
but I
close.
mean, Jesus, that's insane. But I think the Chiefs defense is pretty susceptible to big plays, and the Ravens defense is a little whatever. Like I'm just saying, if the Bengals have to play the Pats, I don't know if that is going to be the same. You know what I mean? I think that defense is like a little better. But then
I think
again,
the best matchup for the Patriots in the first round is the Bengals, as far as like the
yeah,
Patriots winning.
I think that's
Right,
true
I think
enough.
I don't think they would do well against the Bills.
Uh,
Because right, they would
well,
get the Bills or the Bengals, I think. No, I think it's the Chiefs.
yeah,
Yeah.
it depends on our run game. I know Starr was playing today, so if he plays, if we have to play the Patriots, God forbid, just because like I don't want to fuck with that. I don't want to leave the door open for like winning the division and then losing the Pats in the playoffs, and then I like Patriots fans are insufferable, so I just don't want to deal. Um, uh, but actually, the more I think about it, like, dude, Cincinnati has just been playing awesome on offense. Like,
Oh, oh crap. Oh, okay. I thought something happened in the Raiders game. Sorry, go ahead.
yeah, I
I
don't know,
thought
just
someone
like
fumbled through the end zone.
Jamar Chase is crazy. T. Higgins is an awesome receiver, and honestly, so is Tyler Boyd. Those two just like have their days when, you know, if you decide to throw like 2.5 corners, or sorry, secondary players on Jamar, then one of the other two receivers is gonna, be able to create plays for themselves. Mixon is awesome. The O line's
Tyler
holding
Boyd
it
doesn't get
together.
enough love. Yeah.
Actually, you know what? I'm
Give
thinking.
more Tyler
I
Boyd.
think. I think that the Bengals have a good matchup against New England because I think
That turned
the
around.
Bengals lose in shootouts.
Do they? They beat the Chiefs in a shootout.
Okay, I know, but see that those are just a handful of data points, right? I think that if you're like
Oh,
trying
what
to
data
play,
points are
huh?
No, what data points are you using?
No, I'm just saying that theoretically, like shootouts are more volatile.
Sure.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. Then again, I don't really know anything about the Bengals' run defense. So if New England can just, keep Mac Jones to like 3 passes and run the ball the whole game, then that's a good formula for New England. Probably their best way to win. Um, you know, don't put the ball in
And
your
then
rookie quarterback's hands.
they would, then they would probably, well, depending on the Chargers Raiders game, they might play the Chiefs in the next or the Titans.
No,
Anyway,
it's going to be Titans because Chiefs Bills are going to win and then they're going to play the next round. Well, anyway, this is okay because there's like moving parts to 5, 6, 7. Let's just say the Bengals win. Anyway, I think actually it'd be a tougher matchup against the Raiders for the Bengals than the Patriots. Am I crazy?
think you're a little crazy.
Okay. I talked myself into that because like the
I'm not a
Raiders
big
can kind of
Raiders guy.
they can do some shootout shit, and if Derek Carr's playing well, then they're just gonna like go back and forth, and like who gets the ball last? There's a 50% chance that it's not you.
If Darren Waller's healthy, I think that helps, but I'm not a big Raiders guy.
Me neither.
Another crazy thing is the Raiders have made it this far without their head coach half the
Actually,
season.
yeah, that's a good point to add a little more like juice on the flame, dude. The boys are gonna rally around their coach. How do you know how to pronounce his last name?
I think it's with like a CH
Basikia?
sound. I thought it was Bisaccia.
Bisaccia. Oh my gosh, that's Italian as fuck.
Yeah,
Um,
Bisaccia. I think it's full on Italian. Like go all Italian, go all in on the Italian. He's
okay,
from
I'm gonna call
Yonkers, New
him.
York. I mean,
I'm
come
gonna call
on.
him Coach B. Uh, anyway, no, if the Raiders win this game, win their winning in, they're the team's gonna be like amped for this guy because in case you're not looped in, this guy has been like an assistant coach and like all this stuff for decades, and finally, because of the Gruden thing, they were just like, all right, well, this guy's been here forever. Like, let's put him in charge. Like, we don't want to go out and hire somebody else for an interim thing. So, and okay, here's the next level play. If the Raiders win tonight, I think that Al Davis should be like should say like Coach B is our coach for next year. Just already tell him like it's happening.
Is that a
And then
mistake though?
no, and then I think everybody is
Wow.
just going to get yonked out of their mind and play like the best they possibly can for the first playoff game, at least.
It's got to be a mistake that if they keep Bisaccia as, oh yeah, sorry, Coach B, right? Like can't
Why?
get better than.
Dude, he's done a great job.
Well, we don't know how much is him, and which we don't know the situation.
Okay, but time out. There were shoes emptied out to be filled when Gruden leaves, and he was the one who stepped into them. And like I know there's other stuff going on, but what I'm saying is like you have to give credit to the guy who's doing the job one way or another, right?
Sure, but aren't we gonna? Isn't this like a Freddie Kitchens situation? Like we don't want to Freddie Kitchens this.
I think that's fair enough. But I also think there are probably examples of like the interim head coach going on to do good stuff. And
Wouldn't you rather have like Doug Peterson though? Like not even gonna you're not even gonna interview anyone else?
if they make
I
the
mean,
playoffs, oh man.
David Culley might be available. Anyway,
Okay, your
um,
worst case scenario is like you have a bad fucking, you know what I mean?
you gotta you
Or
gotta
a mediocre year after that, and then you get to reoffeedback. But I just
gotta
think the
take
way things are
advantage of
playing out now, yeah, exactly. It's almost like taking out a loan.
gotta take advantage of Carr's last year. Okay, so
So let's just say
who?
Bengals to make our lives
Yeah,
easier.
the Bengals play the Titans theoretically.
Yeah, and that's going to be a good game. Uh, is Henry going to be back?
let's say yes. Sure. I don't know if it
If
matters
Henry's
so much.
back, I'm taking the tits.
I don't know. Deontay Foreman's pretty good.
But it's different. So different. Deontay Foreman's like 100 yards good. Derrick Henry's like 200 yards good. You know what I mean? For there like to be like it's different, you know. And he's gonna be fresh legs.
if
PM.
if AJ Brown is healthy, then yeah, take the
He'll be
Titans.
healthy. And then I mean, you know me, so I don't need to rationale it, but I'm taking Buffalo.
I think the Bills are the
I mean, okay, let's
smart
just look
money
at
is
the
probably on the Chiefs. So.
let's just look at the two phases. Uh, the success story for the Bills is pretty contingent on their offense playing competent. They can't do the shit they did today where they like, punt 5 times in a row against the Jets. Like that's not going to fly. And to be honest, that happened. That type of offensive play has happened more frequently throughout the season than I'm comfortable with. But it's one day. So if the Bills are playing at 90% or above, yeah, I think the Chiefs defense is very susceptible and they can take advantage of that. I think our defense is quite consistent, and I know Kansas City is really good. And since they started like 3-4 or 3-5 or whatever it was, and they went on that crazy winning streak, and then the Bengals game was a little fluky. Yeah, they've been playing amazing, and I give them credit to that. But I think our defense is really, really good, especially in terms of matching up against the Chiefs. I almost wonder if McDermott had has been playing 4D chess and kind of catering our defense to play against the more modern type of offenses that we see more commonly in the NFL. Because teams can run on us. I'm not going to lie. That's a huge problem. But I'm not worried about Clyde Edwards-Helaire running all over us. I'm
if
not
he plays,
worried. Yeah, I'm not worried about Williams running all over us. I'm not.
Derek Gore? No, not a Derek Gore guy.
No.
I think it's pretty clear that the Bills have modeled their whole organization to beat the Chiefs.
Okay, great. Well, so let's fucking do it. No problem.
You don't think so? Like their whole
No,
team.
that's what
Brandon Beane is
I said.
created a team.
I didn't say
Their
it
whole-
confidently, but I said, hey, this is quite convenient for it to be a coincidence.
No.
So anyway, if we're modeled to beat the Chiefs, then let's beat the Chiefs. And then I don't even remember what I said before, but I'm taking the Bills.
So Titans Bills, let's say.
Yeah, a little salty
In
rematch.
Nashville, Tennessee,
Oh god.
does
dude.
Josh Allen go to the right on the quarterback sneak?
You know,
That's
I was
deep,
at that
though.
game.
I think I was about to say, I think I remember you mentioning you were going to that game.
I went to the Tennessee game last year as well, and we also lost that game. Jesus Christ. Yeah, actually, okay, no, I know what's going to happen. If it's Titans-Bills AFC Championship game, I will not go to the game. And then the Bills should win. If I'm understanding this correlation correctly.
Out of curiosity, what is
Uh-huh.
the price of an AFC Championship game?
I
see.
don't know. Who cares?
Just curious.
I can't go, or else the Bills are going to lose for sure.
That's true.
I'm cursed. So okay. So who did I pick out of the NFC? Rams.
Yeah, pick the Rams.
Do you remember that game a season or two ago? And it must have been last season. The Bills were up 35-3, and then they were down 38-35,
38-35,
and then they won. Yeah. So, yeah, Buffalo Bills, your Super Bowl champion. Wow. There was no world where I wasn't picking.
It's pretty convenient that Bills somehow ran through a gauntlet.
Okay.
Which to recap, by the way. Oh, go ahead.
If you told me that Bills had a COVID outbreak or something and they couldn't. Sorry, actually, I shouldn't. I didn't mean to step there. I was just saying if for some bizarre event the Bills were just like not able to play their playoff game or something, and they were out, I would pick Kansas City, basically to take their spot the rest of the way after that game. So you heard it here first. Winner of Kansas City Buffalo playoff game is Super Bowl champion.
If you give me like 68 seconds, I can figure out who on the Bills is susceptible to COVID-19.
No, stop.
If you give me, all right, here we go. It looks like their offensive line's pretty good. Only Mitch Morse has not had COVID-19 recently. Obviously, Beasley's fine. He got COVID, but Diggs and Allen, who knows? Dawson Knox. Anyway.
Yep. That's is the game still tied?
Which game?
Chargers.
Raiders kicked a field goal. 4th and 6.
Oh shit. 0-3. Oh my gosh, it's so early. I thought it was the second quarter or something.
Yeah, it's still we started a little. I don't know.
All right, cool. Well, I gotta go. I'm all over the place.
You gotta go?
Yeah. Usually, you know me. I like to stay on for an hour. So I feel like I banked up some time previously, but I'm a little busy bee, and that has not stopped. So I got to do some stuff before I go to bed tonight.
We will do another episode, not next week, maybe the week after. Maybe we'll do like a championship preview, then do a Super Bowl preview and or recap, probably.
Well, actually, I don't know. It's your fucking podcast, so you know better than me.
Do whatever you want. We can do whatever. We kind of care.
The
timing's a little weird.
Yeah. It's funny because like I have stuff that in my life that I need to do pretty imminently, and it's going to wind down as football winds down and there's fewer games, which is another thing that I have to do in my life because I love football. So yeah, it's all just going to slowly wear down, and then February, like Valentine's Day is going to come around or whatever, and I'm going to be like, oh my God, I have nothing to do with my life. This is crazy.
You got the big Washington football team name reveal coming up.
Dude,
to look forward to in February.
They're not going to pick it. I think it got eliminated officially, but I loved Armada. I think that would have been awesome.
I am
so cool.
I'm rooting for the team name Washington football team.
Actually, that to be clear, that's my number one.
I think people are used to it now. They're like, if they choose it, people will be like, oh, okay, yeah.
They are the football. 2 seasons. They should have picked it before this season. 1 season is fine. Like that's like okay. We got.
I guess they had more. They had more merch to sell. That they had all this extra merchandise. They're like, we'll just delay it 1 more year so we can sell out of all our T-shirts. Okay.
Actually, that's a good point. We should order some Washington football team shit because that's going to be like a relic lost in time.
I'm telling you, it's not because they're going to choose football team.
Oh. Hot take. I'll still get like one thing just in case.
Sure, get a headband.
Yeah.
Right. Really quickly, this game has already happened, but who's winning? Chargers, Raiders.
Chargers, if I had to guess right now.
Chargers are down 3-0. All right, thanks.
See ya.